Another week, another insane Riverdale episode. But exactly how insane was the episode? Well, let's get into this review and talk about it. What's going on, YouTube? So we're 3 episodes into this new show now, and if you still, for whatever reason, are watching my Riverdale videos and thinking to yourself, should I watch this show? Are you retarded? Of course you should watch this show. I mean, what insane question are you gonna ask next? Oh gee, should I breathe today? Jesus Christ. This show is amazing. And if you don't know that by now, you better ask somebody. So anyways, getting into the review. So just like I predicted, although Cheryl admitted that she was guilty, it wasn't over the murder. It was over her lying about what happened that day. Called it. She knew more than she was letting on. And as one of my subscribers predicted, somehow, Jason wanted to stage his murder in an attempt to disappear from Riverdale forever. Now keep in mind, Jason didn't die on July 4th like everyone originally thought, but about a week later. This show has plot twists for days. Now one big detail about her story stuck out to me though, and that was after she got done explaining the whole stage drowning, and she said that her and her brother made it to the other side while still being, and I quote, dry as bones. This statement was contradicted later on. So Archie finally confesses about July 4th and the gunshot that he heard, just like Cheryl, which kind of takes Cheryl off the hook, at least for now. But of course he doesn't rat out his boo thing, Miss Grundy. I'm really starting to wonder about Miss Grundy, by the way. Something tells me she isn't completely innocent in this whole thing. So like I said in my promo review, Veronica has a new plaything. And his name is Chuck, the varsity football coach's son, and also a well-known player. Yeah, this is totally not gonna end up badly at all. So Betty convinces Jughead to come write for the Blue and Gold about Jason's murder, and also help solve the case and play detective. So Veronica goes on her date and has what she assumes to be a great time. Little does she know though, she just got sticky mapled. And we'll get more into that later. And by later, I mean right now. So it turns out Veronica was nothing more than a pawn in Chuck's little game, because he used her to gain points in a game that he and his jock friends were playing. Basically, whoever gets the most girls gets the most points, and every girl is worth a different amount of points. And Veronica was not having this. She was determined to get her revenge, as she should be. Veronica is the queen bee, not to be with. So as Jughead continues to play detective, he finds out from one of the members on the scout team that Cheryl was soaked and wet when he saw her that day, not dry as bones as she earlier described. God damn it, Cheryl. Every time I try to like you and actually start to like you, I find out you lied about something again. Can you just stop and let me love you? Jesus. So as I stated earlier, Chuck and his jock friends are playing games with the girls at Riverdale. Sexualized games that they want no part in. And now Betty has a girl, Ethel, I think that's her name, who is willing to go on record against Chuck. So now all they need is proof. And is it just me, or does Cheryl have this level of respect for whenever Veronica stands up to her? And if I didn't know any better, I'd say that she kinda likes it. Maybe a little bit too much if you know what I'm saying. So Jughead goes to another scout about Doily or Dowley, whatever his name is, I forgot. I don't know why I'm always constantly butchering names, but I guess it's what I do. I mean, to be fair, the guy kinda had a weird name. Doily, Dowley, Doyle, and he finds out that he was the one that shot the gun on July 4th. Oh, totally knew it the whole time. Nah, I'm just kidding. I didn't know shit. So they end up finding Chuck's playbook where he keeps the list of all the girls' names and what they're worth. And this is where they find Jason's name on the list next to Betty's sister, Polly. Proof that Jason not only played this game too, but he also played Polly. This really opens up the possibility of so many more suspects, because Jason playing the game too probably means he pissed off a lot of other girls, Polly included. And it might not just be girls that he pissed off, you never know. And I loved how Betty and Veronica were both so determined to get justice and stand together as one to get it. Which brings us to the most disturbing or exciting, depending on how you want to look at it, scene in the show. After Betty invites Chuck over with promises of a lot of fun, now it's time to get to the nitty and gritty. Or should I say the nudie and booty. So once Chuck gets there and sees Veronica surprise him at the door, this party just turned into a threesome. And it's time for Betty to bring out her alter ego. Veronica 2.0 is what I like to call it, because she came out looking, well, I'll let the expressions on Chuck's and Veronica's faces do the talking. Speaking of which, man, look. What did I just tell you in one of my previous Riverdale videos? No more baiting, and I promise to not ship Beronica. And I'm not the one to overanalyze facial expressions like a lot of people do, but I'm also not the one to completely ignore the obvious looks and the intent. And don't you tell me that Veronica wasn't thinking the exact same thing that Chuck was thinking during this scene. Please. The eyes never lie. And I actually rewinded this scene about 10 to 20 times because I tried to tell myself, Smurf, you know, you're probably just overanalyzing this. But no matter how many times that I decided to rewind that scene and watch it again, every single time I saw the same thing. This is while trying to see something different, mind you. I can already see where this is going, but I'll talk about that more in another video. So after they drug Chuck and handcuff him in the hot tub, it's time for Betty to go full-blown crazy Jekyll and Hyde as she tries to get Chuck to confess on camera that he didn't give Veronica a sticky maple. So then Betty starts to push Chuck's head in the water and demand that he apologize for ruining Polly. But here's the thing, she refers to herself as Polly and Chuck as Jason. And she didn't remember doing any of this later on. Now, I don't believe for 1 second that she is the killer, because she's too important to the show and being the killer would mean life in prison. But this episode definitely makes her look a lot more suspect than before. And some of you guys did predict that Betty is the killer, so I mean, maybe you end up being right. I still don't think that there's a chance in hell though. So the episode ends with Chuck getting cut from the team, which Jughead promises will have dire consequences later on. Oh boy, here we go. Already can't wait for episode 4. And it turns out that Doily or Doyle also saw Miss Grundy at the river's edge on July 4th. So her little secret is about to come all unraveled very soon. Archie can't protect you forever, Miss Grundy. And wasn't Miss Grundy like 60 something or 70 in the comics? Over here looking like she's in her early 30s and But like I said, I'm glad that they're being different from the comics. But overall, once again, just like the previous 2 episodes, I really enjoyed this episode. A couple of answers to some questions got answered, and then of course a whole bunch of brand new questions just got asked. It's like a never-ending cycle with this show. Just when you think you might have it figured out, this show slaps you in the face and takes your lunch money. This show doesn't give a but that's what I love about this show. Who doesn't love a good mystery? And on top of that, like I said before, this show also has plenty of ships to choose from. And not just plenty of ships, but plenty of ships with a lot of potential. I don't ship anything quite yet, but I would be shocked if I didn't ship something sooner or later and ship it hardcore. Because like I said before, there's just too much potential with these ships. But I'm done talking. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section below. Who do you guys think is the killer? Do you think the killer has even been introduced yet? And who was currently your favorite ships on the show? Let me know. But if you guys really enjoy my videos and want to help me make many more videos for you guys going forward, check out that Patreon link in the description box. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. But as always, until next time. Is Brandon and Callie the most overrated ship on the show? And maybe more importantly, we should be asking ourselves, are they incest? What's going on, YouTube?